All right, you guys, let's talk about one of my favorite people on the planet. By far. I've made plenty of money off of this lady. I don't even know if she actually, well, I'm sure she doesn't know the money that I've actually made off her back, honey, and how I enjoy her. You got it, the one and only Patti LaBelle. Love and need and want you. Listen, you all know I've been doing female impersonation for over 20 years. And my hugest go-to character is Patti LaBelle. I love her to death. I always have. I have loved Patti LaBelle since I was a little boy, okay? So, it was only fitting that I would actually do Patti LaBelle. She's one of my characters. So, Patti has made me a coin in the day, okay? So, Ms. LaBelle showed up on The Breakfast Club. And I was like, okay, The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne, Patti. Listen. I said, what is this interview going to be like? But it was so good. And it was so interesting. And it was fun. But that's, when you put Patti in a space and let Patti be Patti, it generally is a good time. Because she ain't got good sense. She do not have good sense. And this was nothing different than it's ever been. It was fun. A whole bunch of fun. They got on there. Listen, Patti and this whole thing with this frozen food, honey. So we've gone from pies and that. And now, then Oprah jumped up and she did pot pies. And then Patti then came and one-upped her. Patti got all kind of stuff down to the Walmart in the frozen food aisle. Now she's talking about frozen dumplings. Chicken and dumplings. Frozen ones. She's talking about black eyed peas. And then she has several different desserts. She has a double crust peach cobbler. I said, girl, you better go ahead. They asked her, does this frozen food, is it bringing in more money than music? And she says, no, not at this time. Though she said that she feels that at a point it will. Well, definitely, because, she's gotten to a point. Patti's in her 70s. So there will come a point when she can't actually tour and stuff like that the way that she does. And at a point, this food probably will be bringing in more money than music will for her, than her royalties and stuff. So, but right now, of course, that food is not going to override her ticket sales and stuff. Because if girlfriends say she's coming, the people are coming out. So, very interesting. She actually brought the macaroni and cheese, and they actually got to taste the macaroni and cheese, and they basically were saying it did not taste like a frozen macaroni and cheese. And the woman, one of the assistants, she came and she said, no, I just heated this up in the microwave out there. So I said, okay, come on now. All right. So I was here for it. She actually went to the Tyler Perry Studios reveal. She said she was excited about it. She was excited that she was invited, and she talked about how nice the invitation was and all of that, and how good of a time she had. She spoke on dating, which she is not, and she gave a little story about this older gentleman that was trying to get at her. And I laughed at her. I said, Patti don't realize that she's old, honey. She does. Patti does not realize that she's old. You hear me? She was like, Charlie just kept talking. So he was talking and talking and talking. She said, and then, my security came and moved him along, honey, because he was talking too long. I said, girl, that's what old people do. They talk long, but you don't realize you old, girl. I laughed. I said, listen to her. That Patti is somebody. I just love her. She talked about the loss of her peers. She gave a lot of conversation about Aretha Franklin and all of that. Now, Miss Patti, now let me go ahead and get at you, girl. So, we know what the tea is, honey, with the whole Patti and Aretha. That children ain't get along, honey. Now, of course, when somebody passes on, you're supposed to say nice things. So, no, she's not going to go and dish and all of that. She's going to say nice things. So I was expecting it, but I'm laughing. I said, okay. And then people always want to bring her back to the little situation that happened at the White House when they were there for the Obamas, honey. Don't y'all miss the Obamas? Anyway, we ain't going to get into that. But they talk about the snub. the Aretha Franklin snub at the White House. And Patti said, she was going through a lot of things. And I believe that when that happened, she was going through something. I said, girl, I just laughed. I said, girl, come on through. You're a diva. You are a diva, honey. She spun it, honey, she was sick, honey. She's out of her mind, honey. Yeah, Aretha wasn't feeling well, girl, but she gave you the blues, honey. She did. It was what it was. That ain't had nothing to do with her being sick. Aretha was shady, honey. I love Miss Aretha to death, honey. She was a legend, or she is a legend. She's an icon. She's fabulous, but Aretha was shady as a fig tree, honey. And that was pure shade. All of you all who are trying to learn, see, I know, honey. I know how to shade, honey. Old girl, I've been around a while. But for those of you young girls and guys, honey, who are trying to learn to shade, go back and watch the videos, honey. That is how you shade, honey. Sometimes it's all in a look, honey. All in a look. But I just laughed about that. I said, you better spend it, mama. You better spend it and give, honey. She was sick, honey. She didn't know what she was doing, honey. I forgave her, honey. I got so tickled I didn't know what to do. I said, oh my God. She talked about them speaking, and she said, I never lie. I never lie. I don't tell lies. I said, no, Miss Patti. Miss Patti. I live for you, mama, but come on now. I never lie. Okay, girl. Whatever. You ain't lie about them pies either, right? I did that myself. I'm going to go ahead on, honey. Anyway, she said that her and Aretha had actually spoken a few weeks before she passed, about 3 weeks before she passed, and was saying that they wanted to do a song together. Now, that might have been the time when she wasn't feeling well, and the medication had her having that conversation. Now, that I could go for. I could go for, because, cancer meds are deep, honey. They're deep, and I can speak on it. Cancer meds are interesting. That might have been the delusional conversation that y'all had, honey, about y'all doing a song together. And I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to move on. There was a conversation that came up about Zuri, her son Zuri, and how Zuri called and checked Charlemagne back in the day about speaking about his mother and how he was speaking about his mother. I got tickled about that. I said the interview was, I'm telling you all, go to the Breakfast Club and check out the interview. It was fun. It was fun, and it was funny. Okay? And they went on into that whole thing, and they were saying, Charlemagne, he apologized. He said, I was young and I grew up and I know better now. And he was speaking about Patti, was saying, that she was fine. And I guess he was, I've heard him say different things. He would tear her up, honey. And Zuri wasn't feeling that, baby. Zuri called in and gave him, honey, if you don't want me to give you some of this, you better close some of that, honey. I said, okay. So they laughed about that, but Charlemagne told her, it is what it is. You fine. You still fine. But I know better than to speak that way, the way I was speaking. So I just kind of laughed about that. But all in all, it was a really good interview. I had a good time watching it. You all should definitely check it out over at the Breakfast Club. All right, so enough about that. You all know I live for Miss Patti LaBelle, honey. And we won't even go, listen, y'all remember when I talked about on this very show, when I talked about her doing her tribute to Aretha. My darling, didn't even know the words to the song. And you want us to y'all was good friends. Okay, girl. Whatever you say, Patti, girl, you don't lie. All right, mama. And I don't lip sync. Anyway, swipe left.